Building muscle was impossible until I understood the concept I'm about to share with you in this video. My name is Rio and I'm the founder of Polarity Fitness, where we help busy men in their 30s and 40s transform their bodies with minimal time commitment. If you're a bodybuilder who wants to take steroids and live in the gym, this channel is not for you. But if you want to build an aesthetic body without living in the gym, you're in the right place. Let's get started. When I first got into lifting, I followed the mainstream bodybuilding approach that told me the more time I spent in the gym, the more gains I would make. This led me to spending hours and hours in the gym every week and getting no results in return. This made me feel like something was wrong with me and that I just couldn't gain muscle no matter what I did or how much I worked out. From a lifestyle perspective, this wasn't making sense anymore, so I started working out just twice a week and I suddenly started putting on muscle. This is where I realized that working out less allowed me to consistently get stronger and add weight to the bar because I was finally recovering between my workouts. What I stumbled across was the holy grail of muscle building, a concept most people drastically overlook.
How are you feeling about the workout today?
Pretty good, man. This is probably like one of my favorite workouts to do. Starting off with weighted pull-ups and then some overhead press and then some lateral raises and some tricep extensions. Super short, super intense, and a very effective workout. The primary driver of muscle growth is tension. You create tension by lifting heavy and pushing your sets close to failure. But at some point, the weights you're currently lifting won't be challenging enough to produce tension because your body will adapt to them. This is where progressive overload comes into play. To keep muscle growth coming, you need to continue increasing tension levels. The way you do that is by increasing the weight you lift over time. I cannot stress this enough. If you continue to lift the same weights, you'll continue to have the same body. Look around your gym. Do you see any skinny guys benching 300 pounds? So I'm getting to my first set of weighted pull-ups. I'm going to be doing 90 pounds attached, hopefully for around 6 reps. So last week I got 87.5 pounds attached for around 7 reps. So I'm just adding 2.5 pounds to the belt and hopefully getting around the same reps. Oh, 7, damn. 90 pounds for 7 reps, that's fucking legit strength. There's a strong correlation between muscle size and strength. If you build up to bigger weights, then you will build bigger muscles. Let's say you took 2 people and put them side by side. The first guy bench presses 315 for 6 reps and the other guy can only bench press 135 pounds for 6 reps. The guy bench pressing 315 will have more upper body muscle mass every single time. The primary goal of each session is to improve from your previous performance from the previous week. And so training is just like a video game. You're trying to reach new levels, you're trying to beat your previous performance. And so the way that takes place in weight training is that you're always striving to add a rep or a little bit of weight to each and every one of your sets. And if you do that for long enough, that will compound into an incredible physique. So I'm going for 57.5 pounds attached for around 8 to 10 reps. So the way I like to structure my training is I like to do one heavy top set all out for around 6 to 8 reps. And then I like to do a back down set that goes a little bit lighter. I like to take off around 10 to 20% of the weight and then go for a couple more reps. The reason being is because when you're doing maximum intensity in that first set, a lot of times you cannot replicate your performance in the second set. And so to sort of accommodate that performance drop off, I like to take some weight off and just go for a couple more reps. Most people never achieve progressive overload because they're following training routines that have them in the gym 6 times a week doing endless exercises and sets. But the truth is, these routines are meant for fitness influencers and bodybuilders who take steroids. When drug-free lifters like us try to mimic this approach, we overtrain and stagnate, which makes it impossible to continue adding weight to the bar. So the reason I like to do 2 sets is because the best way to describe that is to picture going into an exercise knowing that you have to do 5 sets, right? Think about how you're gonna perform in all those sets, right? You're probably gonna hold yourself back a little bit because you know deep down that you have 5 sets to get through. What that does is that produces half-assed effort where you're leaving a lot of reps in the tank on each set. And so you wanna flip the script, do fewer sets, but make them count and put your all into those 2 sets. That's what always happens when you're doing a ton of sets per exercise. Your focus and your effort just becomes spread too thin, it becomes diluted, and you can't do justice to any of the sets or push any of the sets hard enough to actually stimulate muscle growth. So I'm going for 140 for hopefully 8 reps. So last week I got 140 for 7, and so I'm gonna strive to add 1 more rep and make a little bit of progress in this set. Tried. Thought I had that, but turns out that I didn't. Whew.
Many of your favorite fitness influencers promote routines that focus on training more to gain more. But training more to gain more only works when you're on steroids because steroids give you superhuman recovery. This allows you to work out a lot every day and easily recover in time for your next workout. When you're not taking steroids, it's impossible to recover fast enough to be ready to go in your next workout and add weight to the bar. This is why bodybuilding routines don't work for guys like us.
How do you feel about the fact you failed that set?
Typically you don't want to actually fail that last rep, and I know I say that all the time, but even I still fuck it up. The reason why I failed that, and this ties back into something I talk about a lot, which is like not switching exercises too often, because I'm relatively new to this exercise. I haven't been doing it for too long, and when you're new to an exercise, you can't grind out reps as easily. So I think I had the strength to be able to do that last rep, but since I haven't been practicing it, the neural force wasn't there, and that's what happens when you stick with exercises really long. Like you become very neuromuscularly proficient in the exercise, which means that you can actually like really utilize as much muscle as possible in the movement, and that really helps for squeezing out those last difficult reps.
If you want to build your dream physique working out just twice a week, click the first link in my description to pick up the free Minimalist Muscle Building Masterclass.
I'll squash my balls so many times doing this, man. Like I was like grinding out a rep and I realized my balls are between my legs and I was like, fuck. So last week I got 120 for 9 reps. And in this second set, I work in the 8 to 10 rep range. And so once I hit 10 reps, which is what I'm gonna be shooting for in this workout to try and add a rep, I will then add 5 pounds and then drop to the bottom of the rep range, which is gonna be 8, and then work my way up again over time. So that's a personal record there. Went from 9 reps last week to 10 reps this week. And that's what you're shooting for in every single workout, that little bit of progress.
The main reason I'm able to achieve progressive overload every week is because I only work out 2 to 3 times a week on brief workout routines. This gives me plenty of recovery time between workouts, allowing me to make consistent progress to where I gain a bit of muscle and get stronger every week. Most people train too often and do not provide enough time for their bodies to grow bigger and stronger.
So right now I'm going into some laying barbell tricep extensions. This is probably like my favorite tricep exercise. I'm not shooting for any personal records here. With the isolation exercises, your progressive overload is going to be much more slow. You're not going to be able to add reps or add weight every single week, and so you're going to have very good periods of time with your isolation movements where you're not actually gaining much strength, and that's completely fine. They're just the icing on top of the cake anyways, just to get some extra work into the muscles that may not get hit that hard through the key compound exercises that you're doing. So I hit the top end of the rep range there. So if on my next set I also get 12 reps, then in the next workout I might add a little bit of weight.
My favorite way to progressively overload my training and gain strength is with the double progression method. The double progression method is where you work in a rep range on your sets, for example 6 to 8, and focus on increasing reps until you hit the top end of the rep range. Once you hit the top end of the rep range, you add 5 pounds to your set and then drop down to the bottom of the rep range. You then work your way back up the rep range and then repeat this process over and over.
So I'm about to superset my isolation exercises. So to shave some time off of my workout, I like to superset the last isolation exercises. So basically the way that works is I'll do a set of the tricep extensions, and then immediately after I'm gonna follow that up with some lateral raises, rest a couple minutes, and then repeat that again, hit a set, and then hit the lateral raises. Shave some time off of the workout without affecting your performance.
When you're new to training, you can add 5 pounds to your exercises every week, but when you're past the beginner stage of training, progress is very slow and you won't be able to add weight to the bar every week. This is completely normal. What counts is that you're striving to progress.
So I'm just gonna be replicating the same weight as the first set, try and get 10 to 12 reps. All right, so I hit 10 reps there, which means I hit the bottom of the rep range. And so I'm gonna stick with this weight until I can hit 12 on that second set that I just did. And once I get 12 and 12 on both the first and second set, that's when I'm eligible to add some weight to the bar.
To summarize, progressive overload means increasing the weight you lift over time. The only way to get bigger is to get stronger. If you continue to lift the same weights, you'll continue to have the same body. The reason why most people never achieve progressive overload is because they're following bodybuilding routines that have them training too much and recovering too little. My favorite way to achieve progressive overload is with the double progression method.
So same thing with the lateral raises. I'm just gonna be doing the same weight for second set. And so with my big compound exercises, I like to do a heavy set and then a lighter set. With my isolation exercises, I like to just do straight sets across where I use the same weight on all the sets.
The way you do that is by fucking bug, dude. Fucking skeeters. These old fucking skeeters, eh? Jesus Christ, man. Like, this is so fucked.
They're literally eating my camera. Look at that fucking thing. He's fucking dead now. Rolling and...
You bench press the 100, fuck. God damn it. Dude, you should probably go grab the bug spray. 6 times a week doing endless sex. Many of your favorite fitness influencers and oh fuck. This is a fucking tongue twister. Fuck. Nips hard, yep. But when you're past the beginner stage of oh my God, you wanna suck a fucking cock. Okay, let's redo that. Is that good? What do you think about that? Redo that. That makes sense? I don't think that was a good take. Fuck you, fucking nailed it. Holy tits.